guys with some gorgeous flowers today on the show.
Yeah.
Hydrangea, hydrangea, hydrangea. What a beautiful flower. It's such a full flower. It can be a little finicky, though, right? If you want to try and grow them.
It can be. You know, the last time I was on the show, I showed a hydrangea, and I heard everybody go, ooh, ah. Then I took a ride down to Cape Cod. I was in Cape Cod just a couple of weeks ago.
Yeah.
And with that, we have one of the pictures up there, that the beautiful hydrangeas that you see when you go along the East Coast.
That's
this
beautiful.
here is a home in Cape Cod. And in the front, you have the nice blue hydrangeas that are there. Look at the way that they did the shutters in blue to match their hydrangeas.
It's beautiful, actually.
It's
That house
great.
is gorgeous.
Yeah, if you're a millionaire, that's great. You like those kind of things. But, you know, the key is what happens is people go out and they see these wonderful plants and they don't know really what they should be buying for their own homes to make it easy.
Right.
It's always key to make it easy. And you said they are quite finicky at times.
They can be finicky. So is that easy? Is a blue hydrangea easy?
So the pinks behind you have the opportunity to be blue if they're on acid. So
Yeah.
acidic soil.
Okay.
Yeah, acidic soil, the pinks will become blue. They're what are called macrophilia. So in the world of hydrangeas, there's hydrangeas that bloom on old wood and new wood. This is where it gets like a science experiment and gets kind of crazy.
Yeah.
But these guys here are what are called macrophilias, blooming on old wood. So often the reason why people don't get them to bloom is they're pruning them at the wrong time. They rarely need to be pruned whatsoever. The only time that you're going to be pruning a macrophilia is that you want to make sure that it's just the dead wood that's on that plant. Right now, as we're seeing these blooms come, underneath the foliage here, it's producing buds for next year's season of flowers.
Okay.
So if I go ahead and cut that off, what happens is I remove all the flowers for next year,
Right.
and they're not going to bloom.
Okay.
So these guys here as well, in many portions of the country, will only put out foliage. They won't do that well. They'll do really well along the East Coast, West Coast, but some of the more northern climates, they'll just push foliage. So there are some better varieties. Now,
Okay.
you look back here, and
The
this
white
one here,
ones.
yeah.
I think the white ones are absolutely beautiful.
Oh, the
but,
whites-
and these are easier, a little bit easier for them to bloom.
Annabella, Invincible, there are a whole bunch of different varieties.
Yeah.
These bloom on new wood, meaning that each and every year you could cut it right down to the ground. It's going to regrow back and always give you a nice, wonderful show. There are some work that you have to do with these because their heads get so heavy.
Yeah.
They can be used as a cut flower. Sometimes you have to tie them up. But Invincible, which is a variety from Proven Winners, it has stronger stems, so you don't have to tie them. So when
Okay.
you're going to select the hydrangeas, make sure that they have sturdy stems so that you won't have to tie.
All right.
This is what's called the standard tree, and you can see the picture. There's the standard.
Yeah.
This one here is what's apiculata, which is the kind of bloom, and you can see how it's a cone-shaped bloom. Blooms on new wood, super easy.
Oh, okay.
Super, super easy.
Yeah.
PG hydrangea is probably the one that's most notable in terms of the name. This one here in full sun will perform for you, drought tolerant, just a great plant as that centerpiece.
Yes,
Now
because you got some height. Let me ask you a
Yeah.
couple of things. Are these all full sun plants?
Majority of these are going to do well in a full sun situation.
Yeah.
Hydrangeas can do well in part sun, but it's kind of confusing. Part sun, full sun.
Yeah.
You know, really, if you put this in full sun provided with enough moisture and water, they're going to do great.
gonna be okay.
In shade, you won't get the bloom production.
Got it.
Okay, so
All
you go
right.
over here and you start to see these guys where they're chartreuse green. Love that word, chartreuse.
It's nice, huh?
Isn't that a nice word, chartreuse?
It's lovely.
This is limelights, and this one here is the mini limelights, and you can see the amount of blooms that are there. It's also one that blooms on new wood, so don't worry. You know, the big thing is always prune after they bloom. You'll never fail.
Okay.
This one here, what's really nice, it's a shorter variety. It doesn't grow that high, about 3 feet in height. What's nice about that is I can leave those flower heads on in the winter. So in the winter before the snow sits, they kind of give a little bit of interest factor in the garden. They're really great as a dried flower as well.
Right.
They can be used as a border plant or a hedge.
Okay.
Putting that, think of that in a line in front of your house instead of boxwood.
Oh, that's
having that in
lovely.
chartreuse green. Beautiful. We showed you before, Cityline. That
Yes.
variety up there, Cityline Viana.
They're
is
gorgeous.
Gorgeous.
Look at them.
A little bit shorter.
Yeah.
Beautiful because you're going to buy it in bloom. But many people get frustrated by that variety because they put a lot of foliage and you're only going to see a couple blooms in many areas. In West Coast and on the East Coast, no problem.
Okay.
Into those cooler climates, watch
It's
out.
a bit of a problem. So when am I buying my hydrangea? When am I planting my hydrangea?
Great questions. Right. So always remember spring and fall are great planting seasons.
Okay.
A lot of the times
right.
if they're container grown, which these guys are, container grown pots, we can plant these at any time of the year because the roots are really there and they just want to go out. Look at the roots.
Right.
Hi, roots. How you doing?
Yeah,
It's
there
like,
they are.
I just pulled that plant's pants off. Oh, my goodness.
He's so embarrassed.
Totally. But really, ideal time, spring or fall. If you are planting in the summer because you're your landscape project,
Yeah.
you got to be home to water. You got to water. But this season, In the bulk of the East Coast, including Ontario, it's been wet, you didn't have to water.
Yeah.
The West Coast, they had to water all the time. But
Many
really,
times.
spring or fall plantings, you're going to be more successful.
And right now, they're supposed to look like this.
Right now, so that's
if you planted them in spring.
Everybody right now sees them, people are driving, they're like, I want one of those.
Yeah.
And then just when you go and you want one of those,
It's too late.
well, and also make sure you're getting the right variety, so it's going to be easy for you. We don't want you to work too much in the garden.
Very nice. Okay,
Yeah.
thanks, Frank.
Thank
Let's
you.
go to break. We've got more coming up.